Welcome to your 2015 August Tarotscope. This is Gwendolyn of Readings by Gwendolyn, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. That's been amazing. And I've got some interesting things coming up. I'm working on a course through Daily Ohm of Learn the Major Arcana in 22 Days. That should be released by November, if not sooner. So I will keep you guys all up to date. And I just want to say thanks again. So this is the August 2015 Tarotscope for Aries. Let's see what Aries has. And I know a lot of you have been interested in this deck that I use. It's called the Morgan Greer. So I will have links below for it because I know a lot of people have been asking about that. And let's see what's going on for Aries. Okay, so Aries, it looks like the middle of the month is going to be interesting for you. We've got a lot of optimistic, hopeful cards here. Beginning of the month, it looks like you have Eight of Cups in reverse, King of Wands in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse, and then Four of Pence. So a couple cards in reverse here. This Eight of Cups it's a card of feeling weary, feeling like you want to move on from something that you've put a lot of time and investment into. Cups represent the heart and emotions, something that you love, something that you put a lot of TLC into. This could be a house, a relationship, a job, just something you've been putting a lot of your heart into, but Eight of Cups shows a willingness to walk away from it. It's sort of like a weariness, ready to go on a new journey. So that influence is present. However, because it's in reverse, somehow it's being suppressed. In other words, you may be ready to move on from something. You may be feeling a weariness. You may be feeling like it's time for me to move on, but you're not actually allowing yourself that, you're not allowing yourself to move on. So something actually that you're ready to let go of, you're ready to begin and embark upon a new journey, but you're not actually allowing yourself that freedom, or you're not, that energy is not being allowed to come through. So that's what Eight of Cups tells me. Also, this isn't King of Wands, this is King of Cups. This tells me that there's someone involved. King of Cups usually represents a father figure. He's also a great relationship person, so he's like the ideal partner. He's someone who's fair, who considers things from the heart. He's generally, he just considers other people's feelings in the matter of things. So because he's in reverse, and he is looking at this Eight of Cups in reverse, it may be that you are not leaving the situation because of this King of Cups person, because you don't want, so like if this is a relationship and you're ready to walk away, you may be hesitating because you don't want to affect this King of Cups person who's just been loving towards you. Or it could be, that this is a very caring boss or father figure or mentor or partner, and there may be something that you've invested a lot of time in with this person, and you're hesitant to walk away from it because you don't want to hurt this King of Cups person. Or this may be you in this situation. Generally, Aries is represented by fire, so I don't think that this is you because this is a water sign. So if you're involved with a water sign, they could be what you're concerned about, and that you don't actually allow this to come to the surface because you don't want to hurt this person. This is Ace of Rods, so this is new vitality, new beginnings, new chapter. And this is also in reverse, so this is not being allowed to come to the surface. This being a willingness to walk away, this being a new beginning, there's something that is ending here, something that's beginning here, and it all is hinging upon this King of Cups person. So whatever it is that you're feeling weary of and willing to walk away, it's in relation to this King of Cups being in reverse, so whomever that might be, if there's a water sign involved, or someone who is very considerate and caring and compassionate, ideal partner, father, that's what's going on with this card. So there may also be something related to that you're not quite willing to walk away because you want to maintain the status quo. You want to hold on to what you've got. Four of Coins usually says, I'm going to hang on to my material possessions. There may be some sort of monetary benefit or gain that you're holding on to and that you're not actually walking away because you're comfortable in the situation, or you just kind of want to keep things as they are financially. And that might be why this ending and this new beginning are in suppression, in reverse, because this person, this water person, or this partner or father figure, you don't want to upset the apple cart because you kind of are wanting to keep things financially intact and in place. But however, this is also, the low side of this card is a card of fear, and that just keeping things as they are because you're afraid to let go. Also notice in this card that because he's holding on to the money and the possessions, he's blocking his heart. So even though this is a card of stability and keeping things as they are, keeping things intact, especially in regards to money and possessions, it's also a card of stagnancy. So this first part of the month tells me that things may be a little bit stagnant, even though there's this opportunity, this feeling of like, I want to move on from things. I want to go off on my next journey. I'm kind of tired of how this has been. It's a little bit stagnant. You're hesitant to do that because you don't want to upset the apple cart of how things are financially or materially. And it may have to do a lot with this feeling person, this King of Cups person, whether that, I don't read that as you in this situation. That's a water sign. But there's someone that you're not wanting to affect, who you may have built this thing with. Maybe you're living in a house with a King of Cups. Maybe you're at a job with a King of Cups. Maybe that's your boss, or it could be a partner. But you're seeming not to want to. You want to walk away from this thing that you've invested time in. You're ready for a new. You're kind of tired of it. You're ready for a new journey or new chapter, but that's all in suppression right now, because I think it's because you don't want to affect whoever this King of Cups person might be, or you're worried about how they might think about it. But there is new. This is Ace of Rods, Ace of Fire. That's you, Aries, so new beginning for you. But you have to allow it. Right now, this is in suppression. This is not being allowed to come to the surface. So that's the first part of the month. I'm going to say there's a little bit of stagnancy for you, even though things are kind of turning up under the surface. So in the middle of the month, it's funny. This is Two of Cups in reverse. So Two of Cups is a relationship. It's a union of the hearts. Because it's in reverse, there's something, with a relationship that is maybe, again, feeling a little stagnant. Maybe that's what this has to do. Because it's Cups energy, and because the Cups energy is showing up here, I'm going to, kind of put the thought that it might have to do with something with a relationship. That you're feeling like maybe that's stagnant, or there's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with, it's just feeling stuck. It's feeling like things are immobile. This is non-communication. This is it's just something's stuck in the relationship. And because Queen of Rods, this could easily represent you, Aries. Queen of Rods or Page of Rods, these are both fire signs. They're in the upright position. So this is someone who's attractive, vibrant, confident, bold. She's witty. She speaks her mind. She's a confident, Aries type of person, fire person. And she may be feeling like her radiance is being stifled in this relationship, or that things aren't going right in the realm of relationship. But there's a hesitancy to, again, embark on a new journey. This Fool is normally confidence in the world, feeling fresh, feeling new, feeling like I trust the universe to support me. I'm willing to go out. Fool is full of like vibrant, joyful energy. But because Fool is in reverse here, I'm going to say this relates to the Queen of Rods or Page of Rods. Not, and especially because it's in alignment with this Ace of Rods energy. This is saying you really there's this fresh new energy that is there, but it's being blocked either out of fear or either out of just wanting to keep things the same, being hesitant to shake things up. So there's also Page of Rods is optimism, courageousness, willing to go forth, willing to, just see what's out there. And that's very much Aries energy, but he's looking away from this Queen of Rods, and so is Fool. So anything that would have to do with, launching out into a new endeavor, like Fool can do, or like Page of Rods has that optimism and that willingness, they're both looking away from Queen of Rods. So even though she's standing ready and full in her vibrancy, these other cards are saying, maybe there's some blocks there. There's a hesitancy to leave the relationship. There's a hesitancy to launch out on something new. But Queen of Rods she's upright and she's ready and willing. There's something in her stance that is acknowledging a problem in the relationship and going head to head with this King of Cups person. So I guess what I would say, a lot of these cards in this middle row are very optimistic. There's a lot of yellow in these cards, a lot of golden energy, a lot of fire coming forth with all this rods energy. But because she's surrounded by the Two of Cups and this Fool in reverse, there's an acknowledgement of what's going wrong, but there's not that push. It's sort of like a wave brewing, but it's not ready to break. But know that that's what's going on in the middle of the month. So if this is happening below the surface, it's brewing even more in the second part of the month. Whereas your focus is on not wanting to upset things in the beginning of the month, your focus in the middle of the month is really acknowledging who you are, and maybe there's a separation happening, but you're not quite ready to journey off on the new chapter yet. That's what Ace of Rods and Fool up in reverse are saying to me. But at least I think in this first month there's stagnancy and you're kind of tangling with it. In the middle of the month there's a lot of acknowledgement going on. Those sunny rays of that yellow are shining on it, saying this is actually what's going on. So there's some acknowledgement and you're kind of preparing for that. And there's a lot of optimism. So, even though Fool's in reverse, this card's very optimistic, this card's very optimistic. So in some ways, your optimism starts to brew more towards the middle of the month, and there's a real acknowledgement of yourself, whether you relate more to Queen of Rods or Page of Rods. It's a youthful, vibrant energy. That's what Fool has also. And then towards the end of the month, there's some interesting things happening here. Both of these are major arcana cards. Chariot has to do with making decisions, whether you're going to go left or right, and the will of the mind. So it's sort of like getting clear in your mind and being able to direct things intuitively. Chariot has a lot of energy of success and triumphantness, and making decisions between, do I go right or do I go left? I'm going to control things with my mind. So trust, and he's also a very intuitive card. You've got these crescent moons, which represent your inner knowing and inner knowledge. And also moon has to do with your subconscious and trusting inner knowledge that's coming up from the surface. Moon has to do with feelings. It's guided by moon, and also, having to do with the subconscious and what's coming up from the subconscious. And often moon says, I'm trying to let things come up and handle them in a way that is somewhere between being too tame and too wild. That's what the dog and the wolf represent here, is that you want to let things come up, but you want to let them come up in a balanced way. That's a theme that both Chariot and Moon have, is how do I find that balance? And there's some way in which Moon is being blocked. There's some way in which you have these feelings bubbling up from within. That's what this crab represents here. But because Moon is in reverse, you're not allowing your instinctive feelings to come up and guide that Chariot. So what I'm going to say is, towards the end of the month, follow your instincts, let that come up, and let it guide you to making good, clear decisions intuitively. Both of these cards are very intuitive cards. So let your subconscious try not to think about things too rationally in order to let Moon energy come through. But be guided by your intuition towards the end of the month. And then Three of Coins and Ten of Swords. Three of Coins is a card of collaborative work. So because this is an upright card, if you are able to work on something through groups, this is an artist card. This card in the Rider-Waite depicts an architect, a client, and the actual person, the worker working on the chapel or the building. So what this is saying, especially in line with these, is that somehow go out and see if you can work on something collaboratively in your social circle or in your work. That is what's going to unlock the Ace of Wands and the Fool, is that you're going to see that there's life outside that can be done, and that there's something. This is a very creative card. So Three of Coins can mean a second source of income. It can mean it's creativity financially, and this actually may be what allows you to release from this, the Four of Coins. This is new, creative, collaborative energy, artists, creative financial work, multiple sources of income. That may be what allows you to release from this. And then this is a card of bottoming out. This is a finality. This is this is the end of an era, and it's all your thoughts about it that are making you feel persecuted and like you just can't take it anymore. You're at the end of it. This is a card of bottoming out. So, and it is like the final night of whatever has been happening. I think once you start doing this collaborative work outside and in society and being creative and bringing new material to yourself, new physical possessions or money to yourself, that's when this chapter is going to end. So it's only when you begin to tap into your intuitive knowledge about things, stop blocking that, and let Chariot go instinctively, making decisions based on that, what's really inside you, that you're going to unlock this creativity, maybe collaborative work, socially, new sources of money, and that's when this chapter is going to end. So there's a lot going on for you in August, Aries. The middle of the month is going to be, an interesting time because you're going to be feeling your vibrancy and your optimism, but there's still blocks related to this relationship that's holding you up in the beginning of the month. But realize that you can unleash that. Start to trust yourself instinctively to make good decisions. Let that subconscious mind come up. That's what's going to fuel your creativity and make you feel like you're productive out in the world. This can do with work. This can do with collaboration. This can do with artistic collaborations, new sources of income, creativity, financial creativity. And that is what is going to allow the end of the era, and that's going to mean this is completing of a chapter. This is a 10 card, so this is the culmination of that is old and done and gone. So that's your reading for August for 2015, Aries. I hope that sheds some light for you, and I just want to thank everyone again for subscribing. It's been great to get all your subscribes, and please do feel free to comment. I love responding with you guys. And thanks for watching.